Hello, and welcome back to the Sad Fan, where we talk about the good, the bad, and everything that made you sad from the previous week. We're entering this time in sports where I know you guys, baseball fans, I know you hate this. I'm an A's fan, so I'm not particularly fond of it, but we're entering a time when a lot of sports entertainment is just begging the NFL to do something. They're begging the NFL to do something. So right now, it's so disrespectful because on a lot of sports networks, what are they leading with? The slow leak of the NFL schedule, which is really sad. What are we doing? We got some really great basketball being played. We've got the World Cup right around the corner. We've got some great European football or soccer being played at the top of the Premier League. We had El Clasico last week. And here we are, this week. And here we are wondering what's going to happen on the NFL schedule. And the only reason for that is because the NFL traffics in something better than anyone else does. No other sport does it quite like the NFL. And that is sell you hope. And that actually happens back to back to back. And then where are we? We are in training camp, and it is time to believe again. You better do that Angels in the outfield and fly. Flap those wings, because that's where your team is going. When the truth is, there's probably only about 8 or 9 teams that are really going to make some noise, and maybe 2 or 3 that are going to be big surprises. The Seahawks were a surprise, so that's saying something. But there's no other team that's really going to catch anyone off guard. We kind of know who's good, and we definitely know who's bad. And then we have hope. The Raiders have hope because they've got the number 1 overall draft pick, Fernando Mendoza, who they look like they're going to have ride the bench and let Kirk Cousins start. Now, I think there are pros and cons to this, but I think Fernando Mendoza was in college long enough to be able to come out and start. But will he? Will he? Who knows? Who knows what Kubiak's going to do? I just think that with this, all you're doing is clinging to something that's not real. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's fun. And I'm sure we're going to talk about it more and more as the schedule comes out. But it's just not fair to the sports that are being played right now. And it is insane. If we really look at it, take a step back and wonder how the NFL has gained so much dominance. Because in reality, even our numbers here on the Sad Fan spike when we start talking about the NFL. During football season, yeah, we don't have a huge audience, but we go through the roof. We've tried to talk a little bit about the Premier League. We've tried to talk about hockey. We've tried to force feed you baseball, and it just doesn't ever peak or perk up like it does with the NFL. But I cannot sit here and talk about what the Giants are going to do in week 1 under Harbaugh. I think that's stupid. All right. I think the bigger news actually that's come out is the Chargers, the other Harbaugh, signing David Njoku. I think that could be a lot of fun. I think that the Chargers are primed for a run. I think that the Denver Broncos were a facade all year long. And I'll stand by that. I don't think they were good. I don't think they were a victim of a Jared Stidham. I think that they were a team that was able to thrive on insane luck and a really good defense. Maybe not the best defense, but a really good defense. And you could say, hey, that's how they won the Super Bowl in Peyton Manning's final year. And you would be right. But I don't think that makes them a great football team. I think that makes them a football team that peaks at the right time. And I think we all know defense wins championships. So let's not sit back here and talk about the NFL schedule release or the NFL slow leak of their schedule. Let's talk about some things that are going on right now, like the New York Knicks. Man, I just thought the Sixers would put up a better fight. I didn't think the Sixers were going to win the series. I simply stated it might be fun if the 76ers won the series. I think it's good for the NBA when the Knicks get very close and then don't make it. I think that's always great for the NBA. That's great for dialogue about the NBA because the Knicks are a powerhouse organization. As it pertains to fans, the Knicks have some of the wildest, most rabid fans in the NBA. And it's fun to watch them get all out of sorts whenever something doesn't go their way. They're definitely not winning the championship, but I absolutely wholeheartedly believe that they're the team that's going to represent the East. I really do. Now, I don't think that's saying much because the Cavaliers are doing their best to put up a fight. And I thought the Cavaliers were a really good sleeper team for the NBA playoffs in the East, but they're doing their best to put up a fight. But it looks like the Detroit Pistons found their swagger. But I don't think any of these three teams are going to be any match for who comes out of the West. Now, when we're talking about this, we've got to really look at it. Is this Harden's last ride? Is this Harden's last shot at something great? At something that would shut down all thoughts about what Harden has been in the playoffs? Because it's kind of crazy that as much as I do not like his game, it is impossible. It's like the Tom Brady effect, except for Tom Brady wins championships. It's as much as you don't like his game, you've got to admit he is very, very good. He's one of the best basketball players to ever play, and he simply cannot get it done. He's gotten close. I think the closest he's ever gotten was with the Oklahoma City Thunder before they broke up that team. And then he ran into the Golden State Warriors in that era. Now he's got his opportunity in a weak East playing against a weak number 1 seed who only really has one great player in Cade Cunningham. And they've surrounded him with role players that can't shoot the three. So they're completely reliant on Cade Cunningham to make something happen, to draw in the defense, to allow some of these players to get open. And the Cavaliers have stars, legitimate stars. They've got aforementioned Harden. They've got Donovan Mitchell. They've got Mobley. This team has stars. This team has players that can make a run. But is it going to be the case where they can only do this as individuals? Are they going to be a team that's able to come together and knock out the 1 seed Pistons? I think the Cavaliers are the team that could give the most trouble to the Knicks. I don't think the Pistons can, despite what we saw in the regular season. This is playoff time. It's a different game. Everyone that knows or watches sports knows playoff time is a different game. And I don't know that the Pistons have the depth nor the experience to actually do anything against the Knicks. If the Pistons make it through, we may see another 76ers saga. Wow, dude. Wow, did that make the Celtics look even worse, right? Because the Celtics were ready to talk about how they matched up better this year against this Knicks team. And you know what happened? The Knicks dispatched the 76ers in 4 games. That is something to think about. That is something to ponder as Boston goes into this offseason with hopes and dreams, okay, with what could have been. And the Knicks went out there and they did what they were supposed to do. Now, yeah, I think some of that's coaching, but I don't believe that the Knicks have the best head coach. But my God, Boston going out there and doing the same thing over and over and over again has to eventually fall on their head coach. Like I said last week, this cannot keep happening where Boston clearly has the better team and they cannot get over the hump and win a series that they should absolutely win. It's something that gets older and older, and there's one person to blame, and that's Joe Mazzulla. I don't think that this is a place where the players are to blame. I just really don't. I think that the players missed shots, and Joe Mazzulla never changed their game plan, whereas the Knicks were ready for everything that the 76ers had. Over on the West, okay, I thought the 76ers were going to put up a fight with the Knicks. That never happened. But I also thought that the San Antonio Spurs were going to go ahead and sweep the Timberwolves. That's also not what happened. The Timberwolves are putting up a fight. Now, granted, they had to have Wemby suspended for an elbow to continue to put up this fight, but they're actually putting up a fight. Edwards returned from that injury, and he's showing the Lakers what they should be doing with Luka. What's happening with Luka? Luka Doncic hasn't come back yet. Anthony Edwards was back in the next series, ready to go, game 1. And it matters to have him on the court, and it would matter to have Luka on the court. With the Spurs having the better team, the Timberwolves have had to find a way to win. Now, the Spurs get Wemby back for game 5, and we'll see if this is a complete shutdown, if they go up 3-2. But right now, I mean, let's take our hats off to the Timberwolves and acknowledge what they have been able to do. Because this is not a team that should be competing with the Spurs at this level, yet they are. Here they are, making a show of things, putting on what has been the best series in these playoffs so far. No one saw that coming. We thought once the Nuggets were eliminated outside of Minnesota, it was time to get the brooms out and get ready for Oklahoma City Thunder, San Antonio. We forgot that the Timberwolves had something to say about that. And they are out here playing like a team that has been able to knock off big teams. The worry is, I don't think this is what's going to happen. But think about when Luka Doncic and the Mavericks got hot, okay? And they made it all the way to the finals. Well, guess what? That was the championship that the Celtics won because they had an easy path all the way to the championship, and then they ran into the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks with just Luka Doncic. The Dallas Mavericks never stood a chance in that series. And I hope that a good NBA championship is not ruined. No offense to the Timberwolves, but by the Timberwolves. I hope that a great Western Conference championship matchup is not ruined by the Timberwolves. Like, as much as stories can be fun, we should be rooting for good basketball. We should be rooting for the Oklahoma City Thunder against San Antonio Spurs. Those are the two best teams in the NBA, and that's what we should be hoping for. We should want that. We should want the two best teams to meet in that conference final. Will we? I don't know. The Timberwolves are showing us that they can compete with anyone, that they can beat anyone. San Antonio needs to stop showing that they are inexperienced and start showing how skilled they are and go out there and put it down from whistle to whistle, because this shouldn't be a series, and it is. And it's been a lot of fun to watch. We've been talking around the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Los Angeles Lakers. But the truth is, I would prefer to see the Los Angeles Lakers put up a fight, but they can't. It is Thanos right now in the Oklahoma City Thunder. They have the Infinity Gauntlet, and they have all the Infinity Stones, and it looks like they're ready to snap the Lakers right out of this playoffs because there's been no fight. It hasn't been a match. The Thunder have not had to do too much to get this team out of here. And it's sad to watch as LeBron James put on a show against a Houston Rockets team that was good throughout the year and maybe a little overmatched when it came to the playoffs. This Lakers team is also missing Luka Doncic. And yes, that is a big miss. No matter what you want to say about Luka, Luka is one of the top 5 players in the NBA. And he is a draw, not just for the fans, but for defenders, which opens up the court for the rest of the Los Angeles Lakers. Right now, they don't have that, and you can see it. And it is costing them against a much better team in this round. Take out your brooms. This is it. The Thunder are going to get to rest and relax, waiting for what's going to happen in this Spurs Timberwolves series. And they've earned it. This team, Sam Presti, put together the best team in the NBA, top to bottom. They're not the best at any one thing, but they are so good at every single thing. Defense, they've got shooting, they've got dribble and drive, they've got slashers, they've got defense. The Thunder are the most well-rounded team, and I think this is going to be a team that people get bored of watching, like the Popovich Spurs. This is going to be a team that people don't acknowledge how great they are because they are so sick of the monotony that greatness can bring. And we shouldn't take this for granted. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch for a very long time. As long as they can keep this team together, as long as those draft picks last, we are going to be entertained by a team of a generation. And it hurts me to say that because I'm a Warriors guy. As you know, I'm a Bay Area guy. And it's just facts. This is one of the better teams that we're going to ever have an opportunity to see. And we should not take it for granted. We should sit back and enjoy this show because it'll be gone before you know it. And at least you got to say you were there. The World Cup is coming up. We're very excited, and we've got an announcement to make here at the Sad Fan. We will be there in June. We will be at Game 3 against Turkey, USA, Turkey, at SoFi Stadium. I am excited. I'll be having a video go out over our social media networks in June of the World Cup. We're going to be at watch parties for the other games. We're going to be flying all the way to LA in June during the Australia match. So please share on Twitter, get with us, let us know what's going on. We want to be there with you, and we want you to be there with us. I am stoked, but let's talk a little about what's actually going on. It's pretty insane, and if you follow some of our other properties here on the Sad Fan Podcast Network, you've heard me talk about this. Real fans are being priced out of everything, and it's never been so blatant as it's been during these World Cup ticket draws. Fans have really voiced their opinion on this is an unaffordable World Cup. They're having trouble selling out, and that's because these tickets are absolutely insane. We got lucky to get our tickets. Okay, this is some of the most obvious and blatant corruption we've ever seen. The ticket prices spike and spike. There's been controversies of FIFA moving people's seats. People that have already bought seats, they're moving them so that they can get some reason, some rationale to move seats up. So they're moving people that already have their seats back that paid less, and they're going to take the seats that are up that these people were already in that already paid for and charge more for them. It's out of control, and it's absolutely ridiculous. And it's no wonder. I mean, why is this World Cup, the one in the United States, the one that people have to learn from? I think there's quite a few reasons that we could draw from. But the biggest one is the fans in the United States are beat down, and they don't fight back enough. I really hope that this World Cup is successful and we have fun, because this is my favorite sporting event. But I really hate that we have allowed these entities that are in control, that have power over these things that we love, destroy them. It's insane and unfair and should never happen to any sport. Fans drive sports. Fans are the reason why marketing dollars get poured into sports. If the fans stop watching, there are no marketing dollars because there's no one to market to. And these corrupt FIFA officials are banking on the fact that we will all watch on TV, and we will. We'll gather around our televisions and we'll watch the spectacle. But there has to be a way to bring these corporations to account, because it's so blatantly obvious that this is a cash grab for everyone at the top. And it is the fans that will be suffering from this. I'm excited to go. I'm really hoping that this event is phenomenal, and I'm really hoping to bring you great video as promised. I think that this is going to be something that I will have an opportunity to do once in my lifetime. And that is go watch the World Cup in my home country and support my home country. I'm stoked, but I'm so disappointed in what FIFA has done and everything that they have done to destroy this event for the fans. They have not made this an easy experience. Buying tickets, finding tickets was absolutely a miserable experience. Atrocious. Terrible. How they're delivering the tickets is disgusting, gross, and greedy, and it's just a disappointment. So I'm hoping that the event brings joy, because I've literally been waiting for this since 1994, and now I am big enough, old enough, and make my own money, and I can go to an event such as this one. So I'm hoping on top of hope that FIFA does not completely destroy what should be one of the most amazing spectacles of our lifetime, and that is this World Cup. And I'm also hoping that Team USA doesn't destroy it. We haven't talked enough about Team USA being in a very manageable group this year. They should definitely take out Australia, and they should definitely take out Paraguay. I think the toughest match was that play-in match against Turkey. So Turkey wins the FIFA play-in, and now they're an underrated team in World Cup soccer, in global soccer. I think that they're a tough match. I was really hoping I wasn't going to have to go to a game that I was going to be afraid they might lose, but here we are. I hope Pochettino gets his stuff together. I hope Team USA gets together, and as always, we will see you next time. Thank you for tuning in.